And we're live. Welcome back for another Deadline stream. Have I got that set up right? Yes, but oh, sort of. How do I go across? There we go. Welcome back for another stream, everyone. How are we today? Welcome all of you to this Deadline stream. It's a Wildcard special. The Wildcard is active. I've activated the chip. It's been a crazy week for price changes. There's quite a lot of changes last night, actually, as well. So I don't remember ever gaining so much team value on a Wildcard outside of an international break. Just going to check who went up last night. Let's have a look. So last night, the Havertz rise is so annoying because I had Jackson and I was trying to get a double rise on him. And I did, but in the end it was pointless because Havertz went up, who I've ended up with. Saka went up, Semenyo went up, Bumo, McNeil. How many rises did you guys have last night? Who went down? I saw Vardy went down. He's an interesting one for 5.9 mil. Outside of that, nothing notable. I think a few players like Salah and Jota might go down tonight. So, this is where I've landed on my wildcard. Oh my god, I have to turn this off somehow. I just installed this Nvidia thing for gaming, and it's literally the same keybind as switching tabs. I did not anticipate this. How do I turn this off? Every time I switch screens, I'm getting the Nvidia pop up. Hopefully you can't see it. Oh god. How do you change the keybind? Settings? I might just literally uninstall it during the stream. Sorry about that. Hang on. What's it called? Shadow play. Oh, I shouldn't mess around with this in the stream. I'll just have to deal with it. I think I can just click the transition button. Let me test this out. That works. I'm going to have to do it the old school way. Anyway, welcome all of you to the stream. We've got Senya Lum, Objectives Matt, Mike A, Anvit, Yeet, Sia, Jensen, Yamanja, Spiritual Steve, Dusty Tones, Mac. Welcome all of you to this Deadline stream. So my wildcard's active. I'm just organising my tabs. Bit of last minute tinkering today. So this is how I have landed with the wildcard. I'm hoping that we get a leak that Lewis starts. I imagine we'll almost certainly get some team news on Lewis. So yeah, if he starts, he's in the team. I've got Colwell as basically a hedge against Lewis. So if Lewis doesn't start either of the next two, then Colwell starts. And then after that, I've got Mikalenko, who kind of fits, again, if Lewis doesn't start any of those. So yeah, let me know what you think of the wildcard. Rate it out of 10 in chat. Rate the wildcard out of 10. I think that was a super chat. Let me just find that. It's from here for FPL. He says, quickly, Oscar. I'm boarding a flight. I won't be around for early team news. On the wildcard, Sanchez, Lewis, Havertz versus Flecken, Saliba and Solanke. I prefer the first one. But can you not just go Flecken, Lewis, Havertz? That's the combination I've landed on. So I'm going to be a bit biased for that. But yeah, I'd say the first one I prefer more. I did tinker with a double Arsenal defence draft last night. So like Gabriel and Saliba. But in the end, I landed on Havertz because in a few game weeks' time, when the fixtures turn, I can go Havertz to Solanke, and then I can go Luis Diaz to someone like Maddison or Bruno when their fixtures look a bit better. 6 out of 10 from Joshua. Aqua gives it a 9. No Raya. Yeah, I mean, Raya's... It's unbelievable. How rare do we have these keeper injuries, let alone the week when everyone's wildcarding. So I just weighed it all up, and I thought I'm probably not going to take the chance on him. So Arteta said, I've got it on the left-hand side in the team news bit. Arteta said late decision is going to be made. And he said, we've still got 24 hours. But, interestingly, he wasn't spotted at the team hotel. Tweet from Tic Tac Connor there. He says, David Raya was not spotted the rest of the Arsenal squad at the team hotel this evening. So, that's a factor as well. So, I don't know. Well, how often does a player... I'm going to have to change these keybinds. This is driving me mad. Advanced. I don't even know how to change the keybinds. Scene transitions. Oh, here we go. Properties? No. Alright, I'll just have to deal with it. So yeah, I ended up going with Flecken. It's not great. I'd love to have double Arsenal defence, but I think Havertz is a pretty sound alternative, so that's where I've landed. But I mean, have you guys seen the Wolves news? They've got a virus sweeping through the camp, So I think those that are selling Salah on the wildcard, myself included, like, could come to regret that. We'll have to see. Those that are keeping Salah or not wildcarding could be feasting this week. And I think if I had Salah, he'd be my captain. I think it's the perfect opportunity to bet against Haaland this week if you've still got Salah. I think Saka also a sound captain, but I can't see myself going against Haaland when I've got Haaland and Saka, but not Salah. Oh, thanks for the 5 gifted, Edzo. Those went to Nat the One, Gunner, Amir, Kilami, and P Drizzle. Who am I benching? So if Lewis starts, I'll bench Colwell, basically. So it'll be Gabriel, Lewis, Trent, Saka, Semenyo, Bumo, Luis Diaz, Havertz, Haaland, and Wood. So I'd have to bench Rodgers and Colwell. So I'm probably going to be benching some points this week. I mean, who would you bench between Wood and Rodgers? Wood and Rodgers, which one would you stick on the bench? It's quite a close one, isn't it? Because obviously Rodgers away at Ipswich, he's got the better fixture, but Wood is playing at home. He's on penalties. It's a close one, for sure. You'd bench Wood. Rassam would bench Rodgers. Joshua would bench Rodgers. Zeus would bench Wood. I'm just Googling how to change the keybinds on the scenes. I think I'm going to have to deal with it. I can't figure it out while I'm live. It's my fault for installing NVIDIA Shadowplay. Has anyone got FC25? I play clubs with a few guys, and I just wanted to be able to like record some clips during games, but I completely forgot the keybinds clash. Shadowplay, change keybind. Hang on, sorry. If you'd like to set a keybind for Shadowplay in NVIDIA, press the gear icon, keyboard shortcuts. Oh yeah, okay. Perfect, I think we fixed it. Just going to test that out. Yes! Alright, we're back in action, let's go. Should I free hit from Ghost? No, I'd save the free hit, definitely save the free hit. It's better used in doubles and blanks later in the season. Not in a single game week. Unless your team's in seriously poor shape and you've used your wild card or something like that, but I think I'd rather take hits than use the free hit in a single game week. Corin says exactly the same front 8 as you. It's pretty template, I can't lie. It is template. But on the other side of the coin is, there's some players here that are quite low owned. So Wood's 10.6%. Semenyo's 9.7%. What's Havertz? 18%. Colwell's 3%. Mikalenko's 4.2%. Lewis 11%. So there are some low owned players as well, to be fair. Ryan News. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a late decision, but he wasn't spotted at the team hotel, so I worry that he might miss this one, and they might just not risk him because they've got PSG midweek. And then we'd see him back for Gameweek 7. That's my concern. So then what it boils down to there is, do I go with Raya regardless and take the 0-pointer? Or do I go for a keeper that Garrett will definitely play and move my Arsenal slot to Havertz? So I was thinking about it long and hard last night, and it is close, but I think I would rather go for Havertz. I mean, the next two, to be fair, from an Arsenal attacker perspective, are unbelievable. So, who's my captain? I'm going to captain Havertz this week. I've got it on this slide because I don't want to lock in my transfers just yet, just in case we get a leak that Raya's fine or something like that. I suppose I can make a few transfers now because I'm not going to be keeping Jackson. I've got nothing in the bank. Can I afford to? Maybe I can't even afford to do that. Jackson to Havertz. Yeah, too many players from Arsenal. So I'll basically lock it in near the deadline, but that's where I'm at. Arsenal Smarsenal. What do you mean, Dylan? Is Marino going to play today? No, I'd be very surprised. I think Marino will be back next week at the earliest, maybe later. I heard he's back in training though. Daniel asked best Lewis Dunk replacements. Now, if Lewis doesn't start today, I'm actually going to have Dunk. Which sounds a bit mad because the fixtures aren't great, but this would be my plan if Lewis doesn't start. I'll go Lewis to Dunk, and then I can go Greaves to Milenkovic. I mean, the other option is I just keep Lewis, and I just bench him this week, and then hope that we get a leak he starts the next game week and play Colwell regardless. What do you guys think's better? So let's say there's a leak that Lewis doesn't start. Do you still keep him in that scenario on a wildcard? Because there's also Game Week 7 where we should get early team news, and then there's Game Week 10 and 11. So there's 3 game weeks in the next 5 weeks that we should know if he starts. So my 2 options if he doesn't start is I go Dunk, Colwell, Milenkovic, or I keep Lewis regardless and I play Colwell. So it'd be like that. Because yeah, basically there's like 3 game weeks in about the next 6 where we should get early team news that he starts. So I have the other option to just keep him regardless and bench him this week. And obviously the better fixture really is Fulham, which we also should get early team news for. I think I missed a super chat. Colin F. Message retracted. I didn't see what you said, Colin. Chuck it in the chat and I'll try and spot it. Edsley, thanks again for the 5 gifted. Luke Skywalker in the chat. He says, Havertz, Porro and Gabriel, or Jackson, Saliba, Gabriel. So it's basically Havertz and Porro versus Jackson and Saliba. I suppose Jackson Saliba is better, just about. I'm not so sure about Porro. His fixtures look better in a few weeks, but not really for the next 2. And then obviously, like in a few game weeks' time, you could go Jackson to Solanke when his fixtures turn. So I'd say the second one, Jackson and Saliba. Gabriel's the same in both, right? So it's Havertz, Porro versus Jackson, Saliba. Milkman says, Mr. Focal, good sir, should I wildcard? He's got 1 free transfer. His team is Henderson, Areola, Johnson, Trent, Porro, Robbo, Porro, Mosquera, Saka, Rogers, Erubenham, Jota, Bruno, Havertz, Welbeck and Haaland. I think I'd be very tempted because you've got a few issues in your team. You've got Johnson. I mean, you could upgrade the keeper slot on the wildcard or swap it around there. Mosquera's a problem. Welbeck, I mean, not got great fixtures. I think I'd probably do it, Milkman. Erubenham as well, like you got 4.5 there. I think I'd be inclined to go for it. And then obviously Bruno Fernandes. The less said about him, the better. I had him from Game Week 1 and he was so disappointing. Even though his underlying numbers were really good the first few game weeks. No returns, so I'd be inclined to. Use it in your situation. It's a popular wildcard week as well because of the fixture swing. So it's not like you're using it in a week that doesn't make much sense. It just makes a lot of sense this week, but it is team dependent, as the old cliche goes. Nah, no Raya, Zaremski. It's just unclear if he's going to play. I won't lock in my team till near the deadline just in case there's a leak, but it seems unlikely. In fact, let me send a message. I was asking around yesterday and they were all saying that it seems like there's a good chance he wasn't at the hotel, late decision and so on. Let me just ask. There we go. We'll try this other guy as well. Cool. What's your starting 11? So it'd be Fleckham, Gabriel, Lewis if he starts, Trent, Saka, Semenyo, Bumo, Luis Diaz, Havertz, Haaland and Wood. So I'd have to bench Rogers and Colwell. Sasha says bench Rogers as well. I think I just about agree with that, but it is close. Wood at least has the home fixture and he's on penalties, as we learnt last game week. Maybe he always was, but we thought it might be Gibbs White. Arteta said he won't play though. Yeah, I know that's true, but like not even being spotted at the hotel. Like I don't know. I can't remember a time when a player wasn't at the hotel and still played. Maybe it's a thing. Basically, I know it's a home game, but what Arteta does is he gets all the players the night before the game to stay at a hotel together. You know what he's like. He's a bit of a control freak, Arteta. And the reason he does that is because then obviously, first of all, I suppose you're making sure no one's going out the night before, having a cheeky bender. But also you can control their meals and stuff like that. So being the perfectionist he is, Arteta, he does that every night before the players, even with home games. I'm sure he's not the only one that does that, but that's so that we're using that information, we can see if they're at the hotel or not and gauge whether they're going to play from that. Now there is a chance, I suppose, he didn't go to the hotel and he still plays, but I think it's a curious one for him not to be seen at the hotel and to still play. But maybe it really is a late decision. I've weighed it all up and I just think maybe I'll go with Fleckham. And then I could still buy Raya later, right? So I'll miss out on the next 3. Maybe it'll just be 2 of the next 3 if he misses that. And then it's Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea. And then obviously I could try and get him back, Gameweek 12. Who are you talking about? I'm talking about Raya. He wasn't seen at the hotel. This was the tweet. Daniel says, I assume Raya's definitely out seeing your team. Yeah, unless there's like a reliable leak this morning that says he's going to play, then I won't have him, basically. It just seems like too much of a risk to take. Johan says, Nedeljkovic, Pedro Porro, Robertson, Salah, Smith Rowe, to Gabriel, Saliba, Saka with Semenyo, -4. He used to get the wildcard Gameweek 3. Yeah, I think those are great moves. That makes a lot of sense. Is that... Yeah, that's João Pedro, not Pedro Porro. Yeah, I like those moves. They're all upgrades, to be honest, except for Salah, which obviously could backfire. But in combination, I like those moves, especially just for a -4. Fair play rolling that many transfers. Yeah, go for it, Johan. Good moves. I really like their Semenyo pick this week. I feel like he's going to come good the next 2 game weeks. He's not done badly so far, to be fair. 2 goals, 1 assist. He's got Southampton home and then Leicester away. C-Max Spud says, am I mad to triple captain Salah? I'm taking advantage of the chaos at Wolves and hopefully get a huge swing on all those who transferred him out. The triple captain single game week one's like such an interesting one because this season we're going to have probably just 2 double game weeks. So we've got the triple captain, the free hit and the bench boost plus the mystery chip. So you can make the case for using it in the single. So I don't hate it. Like they could batter them. There's a virus swooping through the Wolves camp, so we don't know who the players are, that's the only thing. But there was some news doing the rounds yesterday that Pond, who's from their like under 21s, he's not even in FPL Pond, could get a starting centre back for Wolves. I don't hate it. I don't know if I would do it if I had Salah, personally. But I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. Could be a huge swing as well, because loads of people are selling Salah as well, right? He's going to go down in price tonight. So there is that as well, the upside. Ahmad says, hi Oscar, thoughts on Jackson and Maddison? Cheers. I think both are great picks, but obviously in a couple of weeks' time, Jackson's fixtures turn. So he's a short-term play, but I think that's fine. I'm the same with Havertz. After the next 3, I might go Havertz to Solanke, and obviously you could do the same with Jackson. Yeah, Maddison I rate as well. I did have him in my initial wildcard draft, but after Luis Diaz got a full rest midweek plus the Wolves virus, I've ended up with him instead. And again, he'll probably be there for a couple of weeks, and then I'll sell him. Aqua says Palmer, brace, believe. Yeah, who's still got Palmer? Like, he's going under the radar and he's got 2 great fixtures. I mean, he's played against Brighton, right? They're not even going to have Hösler on the touchline. I think it's just process of elimination, especially for the wildcarders, right? Because you have to have Haaland, that's non-negotiable. And then you have to have Saka, really, for Leicester home, Southampton home, Bournemouth away. And then if you squeeze in 3 premiums, you're going to be making sacrifices somewhere. And if you've got good team value, I think that's fine. But mine's not great because of, like, Quansah. I think Eze went down when I had him. Bruno went down. My team value just got decimated early on, so I couldn't find a good way to do it. I'd have to sacrifice Trent to get Palmer. Duran differential. Nah, not for me, Matt. We just don't even know if he's going to start. He seems to be an impact sub for the vast majority of games, so I wouldn't go there. I'd rather have Calvert-Lewin or Wood for around the same price. Why is nobody looking at McNeil? I think people are. especially the wildcarders. Good long-term fixtures. Second for expected assists this season. I think McNeil's a sound pick. I did look at him as well, but for me, the midfield 5 here kind of picks itself, so I didn't have room to squeeze him in. Like, if I'd better team value, I could have gone McNeil over Rodgers, but I don't. Timothy, thanks for the super chat. He says, is it worth a -4 to replace Eze with Diaz? No, not for a -4, Tim. Not for a -4. I get, like, it's such a great fixture on paper, Liverpool against Wolves, but like, Eze against Everton's not bad either. I'd consider it for free, but even then I'm not sure if I'd do it. Not for a -4. Oscar says, no free transfers, and I've got João Pedro, Raya and Fabianski. Bench isn't helping. What to do? Do you have to start João Pedro? Or can you afford to bench him? Because yeah, he's almost certainly not going to play. I think he might be out, and it might be more than this game week. So if you have to start him, if you're counting on him, then I'd sell him. In terms of replacements, it depends how much money you've got though, because like Wood and Calvert-Lewin are slightly more. There's not many options for his price and below. Like, I don't know if I'd go João Pedro to Welbeck. The only one I can think of is Ndai for 5.4 mil. So if you literally have to count on João Pedro starting and you haven't got extra money, I think that's the only option I can think of, Ndai. Unless you've got some other problem in your team and you can make 2 moves, but then that'd be a -8. So I don't know if I'd do that. Maybe just go for Ndai. Oh, Stratton Larson, yeah, that's a fair shot. But aren't Wolves' fixtures still a bit middling? They've got, obviously, Liverpool this week, then Brentford away, then Man City. So I don't feel like he's the solution. What's the XG chart this week? Do you mean the goal scorer odds? Fed. Goal scorer probabilities, here they are. If that's what you meant. So Haaland projected goals 0.9, 59% chance of scoring 1 or more. Then it's Salah, 0.73, 52% of 1 or more. Saka, Palmer, Jota, Havertz. Obviously the odds assume that the player starts. Jota might not, but I think he probably will, because he came off early midweek in the League Cup, whereas Darwin played the full 90. HMT, thanks for the super chat as well. So yeah, the wildcard feels pretty settled now. The last 2 things to decide is, do I keep Lewis or do I go for Duncan Milenkovic instead? If Lewis is benched this game week. But obviously I could just keep Lewis regardless, and then if there's a leak he starts game week 7, then I can start him next week instead and start Colwell this week. I might be inclined to do that, you know. You've activated the free hit by mistake. No. That's a nightmare. How does a ticket on your app work? There's not much to it really. There we go, fixture ticker. Don't know if it'll fit in here. So you can sort by easiest or hardest. You can sort by game week range. So you can go like next 5 game weeks. So like Everton are top for the next 5, which is why people are looking at Calvert-Lewin, McNeil, Mikalenko. You can do like custom game week ranges as well. So you could go like game week 6 to 15 or something. So you got Brentford right up there. That's why people are going for Bumo. If anyone wants to get the app, FPL Focal in the App Store. It's completely free. There's a link down below to get it as well, or just search FPL Focal in the App Store. It's an iOS and Android. I'm gonna have to have my last tools suite. I've had a bit of a bug this week, which is really annoying. A bit of a sore throat. What does EO stand for? EO is effective ownership. So it factors in captaincy and triple captaincy basically. So let's say if Haaland was 100% owned and everyone in the game captained him, then Haaland's effective ownership is 200% because his points are worth double. But let's say half of those 100% owners captain him, then it's 150% EO. So basically it factors in their true points, but factor in ownership. And you can have EO at various ranks. So if you're in the top 100k, you could have the EO at your rank tier, top 100k. It varies in rank tiers. You've had a bug, have you been to the Wolves camp? I haven't, but it is going around. Morning Oscar, wishing you good gaming, love you. Love you too, Senior Lump, appreciate that. Kanate or Porro on the wildcard? I'd rather Porro, I would say. Ezo says, any tips for players that have had the worst imaginable start? Well, I think it goes without saying really, but the season's so long. There's a long way you can go in the next, what, 32 game weeks. And there was a tweet the other day. Check this out. This guy shared a tweet, Harry, FPL HM. He was 1.8 million in Game Week 8 last season before using his wildcard. 1.8 million in Game Week 8, so we're not even at Game Week 8 yet. And he finished 173rd in the world. Top 1k, top 500 after being 1.8 million in Game Week 8. Now, you might be even lower than that, but still, based on that logic, you could go from, 3-4 million to top 10k. It's absolutely possible still. There's a long, long way to go. So hopefully that helps as some encouragement, Edzo. Why Havertz over Solanke? Well, Raya's a doubt, so I've dropped Raya. So then it's like, where do I go with the third Arsenal slot? I looked at Gabriel and Saliba. Or I just go for Havertz. And in the end, I went for Havertz, and then I can go Havertz to Solanke in a few game weeks' time. So the plan would be to roll in Game Week 7. That gets me up to 3 free transfers. What's the plan if Rico doesn't start? I'll just play Colwell, home to Brighton. Colwell or Konsa? I'd say Colwell, but you have to just be careful with these fixtures here. So I've got Mikalenko and Lewis that were okay when those fixtures are tougher there. How does the app predict fixtures for the ticker? They're not predicted, they're just upcoming fixtures. And then it gives them a colour based on the difficulty. Rumster says Maddison and Aina or Saliba and McNeil. I think Saliba and McNeil edges that one. I think that makes more sense. Yeah, Saliba and McNeil. I did have Maddison in a few drafts, but he has got 2 away games, and then the fixtures look better. And Saliba's just great, isn't it? Like 2 home games to 2 promoted teams. I think that makes more sense. And you might be able to get Maddison still in like Game Week 8 when the fixtures turn then. Akil says Mitoma to Semenyo for -4. He already has Diaz, Buma and Saka. For -4. I don't think I'll do that for a hit. Akil. Not for a hit. Mitoma's one of those players, to be fair, he can get returns against anyone. He's that sort of like tricky winger where he does like just pop up returns in the most unexpected games because he's that good. So it's not necessarily bad playing away at Chelsea. I mean, Gusto might be back in the team, might not be. We'll have to see who's in right back. But I'd say I wouldn't do that for a -4. I'd consider it for free, but not for a hit. Senior Lump says, come on, drop some money, guys. Oscar's got to eat. You don't have to super chat at all. No one has to do that. It's totally optional, but I do appreciate the super chats, and I try to read all the questions outside of super chats as well, but obviously it's difficult to read them all. Andreas, though, with a 32 months membership, he says Doku, Hudson-Odoi and Isak for Bumo, Carvalho and Havertz for -4, or Doku and Isak to Bumo and Jackson without the hit. I don't like the Carvalho pick, that's the thing, from -4. You're kind of just taking a -4 hit for Carvalho to get Havertz over Jackson, and I'm not sure about that. I'm not totally convinced that Carvalho is going to be nailed. Not yet. I'm guessing you've got Rodgers or you can't afford him. There is Dibbling for 4.5 mil, but again, you're taking a hit for someone that you really ideally don't want to play ever. It's such a close one though. I like Havertz more than Jackson. That's the thing. I think I'd swerve the -4 and just go Jackson. In theory, they should do similarly in the next two. I'll just get Jackson. Avoid the -4 there. Why Fleck and not Pickford? Well, I can't afford Pickford, but also I've got Mikalenko, who's 4.3, so he's like 0.5 cheaper. Back in training, so he should be good to start. I shouldn't really need him until potentially Gameweek 8, but it depends on Lewis. Ipswich, Fulham, Southampton. Nice block of fixtures there. Hello, Oscar. Do you think Trossard's starting? Yeah, he should do. He's been playing kind of like the left-sided 8. And Havertz up top. I mean, he could go Havertz midfield, Jesus up top. But I'd imagine he starts, yeah. Bit of a risky pick, though. I don't know if I'd go there unless it was on draft. Do you think Raya's out? It's really hard to say because it sounds like it's a late decision, but he wasn't spotted with the squad at the team hotel. So I feel like on a wild card, you just get someone else. Because as the day went on yesterday, it seemed increasingly unlikely that he'll be involved. He could still play, don't get me wrong. You never know with Arteta, and it could be a late decision. But I think on a wild card, you go for someone else. If you've got him and you're not wild carding, I feel like you just ride it out this week. Like, it's not worth selling him with a valuable free transfer, if you see what I mean. So, if I wasn't on the wild card, I'd just ride it out. If that makes sense. I just don't think it's worth a transfer. But on the wild card, I think it's probably worth just moving players around, which is what I've done. Viral mini clips, thanks for the super chat. He says, is the Arsenal defence... Oh, that's FPL Worm. Is the Arsenal defence essential? I think having at least one is nearly essential. I don't like to use the word essential, but I think you have to have at least one. Because they're that good. I mean, until the Raya doubts, I had double. Which kind of like puts in perspective how much I value the Arsenal defence. And it's two promote teams in the next two. Like, I think you have to have at least one. But if you can't get to it this week, like, it is what it is. Maybe next week. Kilami lost 0.5 mil yesterday and can't make my team. Should have waited. Is there anyone else you can get instead to make your team doable? Sorry. Is Lewis starting? We should get some news nearer the deadline. Anything we get, I'll update in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen to say which players are starting and which aren't. Yeah, there's a good chance we get some City leaks. So, like, which players do you guys want to know about? Lewis? Haaland? I mean, Haaland will start. Foden, maybe? Vardio? Ryan news. So, on the left-hand side, it says late decision to be made on Raya. But then further to that, last night, I mean, fair play, whoever camps out at the team hotels. Raya wasn't spotted with the rest of the Arsenal squad at the team hotel yesterday evening. So that's a bit of a worry. So that's why I've dropped him on the wild card. That's all we know right now. If there's anything else during this stream, I'll update it in the bottom left corner. Now the one says Isak not starting. He's a major doubt. He's got a broken toe. And it flared up in the Fulham game, Hal said. It could be how mind games, but he's a major doubt. So if I had him, I'd get rid. Not just because of the injury, but the fixture. Ari says, is Rashford a good pick? If not, who to replace? Who's a good replacement? Rashford. My worry with him is, He's not a guaranteed starter. Man United is still kind of getting going. They don't look that great on the eye test. So in terms of replacements, I like Bumo, Luis Diaz. If we haven't got the money, McNeil. Or even cheaper, Semenyo. Obviously, if you get Semenyo, just be careful of these 3 fixtures here. Arsenal home, Villa away, Man City home. You have to plan around those. So those weeks I can just bench him and play Rodgers. I've got Wood there with nice fixtures then. Or I could play Lewis and Mikalenko in the back 4 with Gabriel and Trent. A few ways I can go there. Is this your final team, Focal? I think so. I think I'm settled on this now. The only decision I've got to make is... Oh my god, can you see that on the camera? I was getting dinner out of the oven yesterday and I accidentally like put my arm on the metal tray and it's like proper burnt me. So clumsy. So yeah, the only decision to make really is like, if there's a leak Lewis doesn't start today, do I keep him anyway and just bench him and play Colwell? Or the alternative is I get Milenkovic, because he's got a nice fixture this week as well and I can bench him, and Lewis Dunk. That was the alternative that I looked at. Arsenal fans are clumsy. Now, no Man City team news yet. Let me load up my leaks list and check. Probably nothing this early. We'll definitely get some in this stream though. On Raya, he said, no further team news, mate, sorry. But he says, I'll try and get some more news as they do a walk-in in the morning. So maybe we'll see some players doing a walk-in. Like, imagine if we see Raya walking in this morning. That'd be an interesting development. Do you need Colwell? Not really. He's kind of there as insurance against Lewis for the next 2. So, like, if Lewis doesn't start this week, he's got Brighton home. If Lewis doesn't start Gameweek 7, he's got Forest home. And then after that, Mikalenko's insurance against Lewis. That's the thinking. Who are you going to bench? I think I'd bench Rodgers and I'd bench Colwell. So I'd play 3-4-3. Yeah, Rye didn't train yesterday. That's the other bit of news, obviously. And it's a late decision whether he'll be involved or not. Thoughts on Vardy? I prefer Wood and Calvert-Lewin. Obviously this week they've got Arsenal and then Leicester do have nicer fixtures, but I just prefer Calvert-Lewin and Vardy. Fordy says, Raya and Pedro are injured. Do I replace Raya for a free? I think if I wasn't on a wild card, I would just ride it out. I'm almost certain he'll be back Gameweek 7 if he misses this week. He's not guaranteed to miss this week either, so if I wasn't on a wild card, I'd just ride it out. I'd just ride it out this week. I just don't think it's worth chopping and changing with a valuable free transfer. Will Salah definitely start? Yeah, he'll definitely start. 100%. Veltman apparently not seen in training pictures yesterday. Interesting. Maybe Kadioglu starts right back. Tuna says, what to do with João Pedro? No wildcard left, nothing in the bank. It depends if you have to start him this week, Tuna. We're talking about him earlier. Like, if you have to start him and you've got nothing in the bench, then there's very few ways you can go. You can go to Ndai, 5.4 mil, Everton. You could go Strand Larson from Wolves, but the fixtures aren't great for the next 3. If you don't have to start him, then I would probably just leave him, roll the transfer. I don't think I'd spend a move there if you don't need to start him. Depends who else you got in your team though. Conser or Lewis from Kyle? I'd say Lewis, but it really depends on the rest of your defence, as long as you've got cover if he doesn't play. So that's kind of my thinking with Colwell and Mikalenko. Colwell is insurance against Lewis the next 2. Mikalenko's insurance against Lewis after that. Alex Marman says, I've got Raya on the wildcard. Neto on the bench, sensible. No, I mean, I considered that for about 5 seconds, but it's just a waste of an Arsenal slot. Oh, that's fine, Tuna. Just leave him in. Because you might end up freeing up money later, and then you've got more options, if you see what I mean. So, Raya on the wildcard. Yeah, I wouldn't go for Neto if you're going to go for Raya. Like, the way it might play out that Raya is the way to go, even if he misses this game week. Like, that's absolutely possible. Like, he's the top scoring keeper already. So, that could be the solution. Like, just keep Raya. And just take the potential 0 pointer on the chin. But I just thought I may as well go triple Arsenal and not chance Raya. So I've ended up with Havertz. Thanks, David. Who's captain? I'll captain Haaland this week. What's your app called? FPL Focal. It's linked in the description as well if you want to get it from the App Store. It's free. Who's considering the free hit? John. Oh, he said he took a -8 and he should have done the free hit. I'd save it. You'll get more out the free hit later, even if you're on a -8. Joe says, hey Oscar, good morning. If Van den Berg plays for Brentford today in a back four, do you think he's a viable option? Yeah, if he plays in a back four, that's new information. But yeah, right now it's a bit of a question mark. What happens if they play back four? Or the clean sheet odds. Clean sheet odds are here. Why Havertz instead of Saliba? I looked at both options, but it made a bit more sense just to go Solanke to Havertz, as opposed to set and forget Gabriel, Saliba, Trent. Because at least, like, if you go Raya and Gabriel, you've got that option to bench Gabriel for Liverpool. Maybe that's a mistake. But I just think... Sorry, let me blow my nose real quick. Sorry. FPL mucus. Focal snot tissue going for $15.99. Any takers? Yeah, if FPL doesn't work out, then I'll just start selling snot tissues and bathwater. What about Chelsea assets? I mean, the only ones really is what, Sanchez, Colwell, and Palmer. Jackson as well. But I think I'd rather Havertz because he's got 3 good fixtures. Jackson's got 2. I've looked at all these combinations, but I think this one makes the most sense now. Is Digne a good choice? I'm never going back to Digne. Never going back to him. Like, he's not a bad pick, but he's burnt me in the past. I had him a couple seasons back, and he scored an own goal to wipe his own clean sheet in like in like the 89th minute or something. What's this? Arsenal guy just said Raya was spotted at the Arsenal hotel. Surely not. I don't know if that's reliable though. Tweeted by FPL Onions. Arsenal guy just said Raya was spotted at the Arsenal hotel. I don't know how reliable that is. Hang on, alright, let me work out what my Raya draft is then, just in case I need to go that way. So what was it? Solanke. And then... what was it? Lewis. I think that was it. Is that right? No. I think it was Milenkovic. I think that was the... oh my god, that's so annoying. I'm priced out of Mikalenko instead of Greaves there. Wow, hang on. I'm waiting on a video to get confirmation from a source. They've told me he has been spotted with the squad now. I'll post when I have an update. Might be back on the Raya draft then. Could be back on. I should have thought about this before the stream, because I just thought, right, it's not going to happen. So, what was it again? Colwill and Milenkovic. I think that was the combination, because I can't afford Lewis. Well, I could afford Lewis, but then it's like... oh, God. What was the team? I've forgotten what my wildcard was with Ryan now. Was it that? Lewis, Milenkovic, I think. Might have been that. Or was it Mikalenko? So there's rumours that Raya's been spotted at the hotel, but they're trying to get... he said he's trying to get confirmation from a source. And he'll post when he has an update. So maybe Raya is around again. We'll keep an eye on this during the stream to see what happens. But oh wait, I could go Calvert-Lewin Overwood. Is that right? Yeah, that was it. And then I go Mikalenko. I think... oh no, I can't afford that either. Like that. I think it was that. I think that was the one. So it's Calvert-Lewin over Wood. And then it's Milenkovic, Colwill, Mikalenko. He might have just had a little extra sleep at home. I hate it when this stuff happens during the deadline streams, because then it's like last minute and you've got to figure it all out. With not much time. He could be at the hotel not involved. I mean, that's possible as well. So I think that was the Raya draft. Yeah, I think it's the same source as Andy. He sent me a DM and he said, I'll just read it out. He says, I'm waiting on a video to get confirmation from my source. They told me he has been spotted with the squad now. I'll post when I have an update. So maybe no way he plays next game, you'll save yourself a transfer. Imagine after all this now, he's spotted with the squad and he still doesn't play. Let's hopefully we'll get confirmation, like on a video or something. So it's not like whispers. Elk says, I want to switch Kukurea, Isak and Alanga. Right, Kukurea, Isak, Alanga and Porro for Gabriel, Robinson, Anana and Jackson for a -0. Good idea or not? I wouldn't go Anana. I'd rather Rodgers than Anana. I agree with selling those players. Gabriel, Robinson. Yeah, I like those moves, but get Rodgers over Anana, basically, and then I think that's good to go. Yeah, I like those moves. I know Anana's been doing more in terms of output, but he's a more defensive-minded player. It's not sustainable. Rodgers is the one, in my opinion. Matt says, thoughts on the Sells Johnston keeper rotation? I can't say I've looked at that one, honestly. The one I looked at was Flecken and Muric, which I like more. I think it's the same price. I'll just pull up a tweet about that, because I posted about it a few days ago actually, and it's kind of more relevant now if you're not going with Raya. So If you go Fleck and Muric, if you want to keep a rotation, I think I prefer that. You get West Ham home, Wolves home, Everton home, Ipswich home, Leicester home, Bournemouth home, Everton away, Leicester home, Palace home, Bournemouth home, Wolves away, Forest home, Brighton away for 8.9 mil. Oh dear, last minute drama. Box and cameras, tune. Does Rice start? We don't know yet. We're kind of like trying to piece it together still. I mean, there's rumours now that he's been spotted at the hotel. So if oh, Isak's out from the little man's. I think that's another leak there. I think he's reliable. The little man says Isak's out, Murphy starts. So then it'll be Gordon up top. Gordon up top, Barnes left wing, Murphy right wing. Let me catch up on Super Chats then. Matt says, I did that one. Steve says, Colwill or Leaf Davis is covered for Rico in defence long term. I looked at Leaf, but I don't know. It feels like another Doughty. Like, we're going to get so many noughts and 1-pointers, even though he's got the upside. So I like Colwill, but I think you have to pair Colwill with someone like Mikalenko, because obviously Colwill's fixtures in a few weeks' time aren't great. But between those, I'd say Colwill. Asterex Gaming says bench Jackson, Wood or Rogers this week. If I had to pick one of those, it'd be Rogers. It's between Wood and Rogers. It is pretty close. Wood's got the home fixture. He's on pens. Rogers has got a decent away fixture against Ipswich, who are rock bottom for XGC. But I think I'd give it to Wood there and bench Rogers. Why Mikalenko over Keane? Branthwaite's back in training, so Keane's going to lose his spot probably this game week. Maybe he gives Asula a start. But based on him saying Murphy starts, then it must be Barnes, Gordon, Murphy front three. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on this Raya situation, because now there's rumours that he's been spotted at the hotel. And I'll keep checking in the background, because it does affect my wildcard, like which way I go. I think this would be the Raya draft. So it'd be Raya instead of Fleckham. It'd be Solanke instead of Havertz. And then I'd go Milenkovic, Colwill, Mikalenko. And no Lewis. But yeah, I mean, if Lewis starts, if there's a leak Lewis starts, I could go Lewis, Colwill and Greaves. I think I put some notes on my desktop. Let me just try and find them. Because I was trying to figure this out last night. Raya in. Lewis starts, Lewis, Mikalenko, Greaves. So yeah, it's between Milenkovic and Lewis. So I could go Greaves and Lewis. So it's Lewis and Mikalenko, or Milenkovic and Colwill. Let's do a poll on that. Which one do you prefer? Milenkovic. If Lewis starts. Milenkovic or Aina? I actually prefer Milenkovic. They're both good, but I'd say Milenkovic. He's got more goal threat. Like, if you look at his goal and assist record over his career, although he's a centre-back, he's massive. So he actually has more goal threat, even though Aina plays as a full-back or wing-back. So I did look at both, and I preferred Milenkovic just about. Over his career, Milenkovic has got a better Goals per attacking return ratio. Harry says, Oscar, right, I wasn't seen at the team hotel last night, so I don't think he'll be involved. Yeah, but there's now rumours that he was seen this morning. But I'm trying to piece it together because it really affects my wildcard which one I go with. Because if Raya is fit or expected to play, then he'll be in instead. And then Havertz is out. So that's the Raya draft. That's the Flecken draft with no Raya. 72% prefer Lewis and Mikalenko. 28% Milenkovic and Colwell. It's more one-sided than I expected that. Tommy G says, I have Son, Saka, Haaland, Palmer. If we get info that Foden starts, should I take Son out from -4? I did my transfers before the Europa game. It's a difficult one because, first of all, we don't know if Son's going to play. They're going to make a decision today after training. That's what Postecoglou said. And secondly, does Foden start long-term regularly now? I think it depends who you've got on your bench. I wouldn't do that from -4 if you've got a good bench. If you don't, then I'd probably just about do that one. If there's a leak that he starts. Now, I know Allison. It's Raya or I go for Flecken. And I go for Havertz as my Arsenal third. How posh do you reckon the Arsenal hotel is? Maybe the chauffeur snuck Raya in through a secret bookcase. It's possible. Probably not if he's been spotted, apparently. Raya turned up for the free breakfast. That's also possible. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this. Hopefully we get video footage or something. Because it's just like word of mouth right now, but... A reliable Twitter account told me that they were told by someone else they'd been spotted, so it's just a bit like Chinese whispers now, isn't it? We don't know if he actually is there. We need video footage of it, basically. And Chit says, moved country, Play Store unavailable to manage the membership. I actually don't know how to help with that one. Can you send me a DM on Twitter, Antchit, and I'll see if I can help you with that, like to cancel it or whatever you want to do. Or you could try using a VPN. That's the other option. VPN should work. But send me a DM and I'll try and help you with that on Twitter. Vignesh says, is it worth a -4 to transfer out Porro for an Arsenal defender? And who to start among Vandenberg or Dunk? I suppose you have to start Vandenberg, because he's got the home fixture, but there is a chance that they go with a back four and he doesn't start, but I think you'd probably have to start him if you've got him. -4 for an Arsenal defender. I don't think I'd do that for a -4. Not for a -4. Like, in theory, you'd probably think Spurs concede and Arsenal keep a clean sheet, but that's break even. I don't know if I'd do it for -4. I don't hate it, but I don't think I would do that. Not for me. Turn the music down a bit. Gundogan for a differential of Maddison. Help Oscar, please. No, I wouldn't go Gundogan. He's not nailed. He's a rotation risk. I wouldn't go there. If you really want a City mid, then probably Savio's the one, but I don't think I want any City mids. Paredes says, share us your background music playlist, please. I'll have to look into how to do that, because I don't know how to. Send me a DM, Paredes, and I'll find a way to do that and share it with you. The music's from Harris Heller. It's a copyright-free playlist. So that's the Flecken draft. That's the Raya draft. if there's news that Raya is going to play or at the hotel or whatever, something reliable that indicates he starts. Let me ask someone else as well. Is Raya starting? I wish we knew. Right now it's like, it's unclear. So, because last night he wasn't spotted with the rest of the Arsenal squad. Last night, that is. But there's rumours he's been seen this morning now, and we're trying to get like something reliable confirming that. It's all a bit hearsay right now. What we'll do, let's play a round of Kings of the Game Week. Get your guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the top scorer this game week? It was Jackson last game week, 16-pointer. Guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the top scorer this game week? Steve says start McNeil or Rodgers. I'd start Rodgers, just about there, Steve. That's pretty close. I'd say Rodgers. Salah, Havertz, Foden, Watkins, Solanke, Palmer, Haaland hat-trick, Robertson, Eze, Semenyo. Semenyo, that would be unbelievable if it's him. Saka, Jackson, Evan Nilsson, Zoboslai, Maguire, Semenyo, DCL, Rodgers, Martinelli. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's an Arsenal player. Could be a Liverpool player. It's often someone you least expect though. Like, not many people said Jackson last game week. Flecken or Pickford if I've got the money. I'd say Flecken still, even if you got the money. Unorthodox choice, but start Evan Nilsson or Smith Rowe. I'd start Evan Nilsson. Better fixture. Tiggy Taylor says FPL Juice want to see your clean socks. I can't get my feet up here right now, but I can confirm I bought clean socks after the abuse I got from my dirty socks on the tattoo photo. Daniel says in before Oscar ends up going with a non-Raya draft, and then Raya drops a penalty save in the clean sheet. It wouldn't surprise me. Excuses, socks aren't clean. Well, I bought new ones, so they have to be clean because they're brand new. Easier than washing, innit? Just buy new ones, chuck out the old ones. I had a mate who used to do that. He'd like... he had like... Sometimes like if his t-shirt got dirty, he'd just be like, oh, screw it. And he'd chuck his t-shirt in the bin and buy a new one. It's like, just wash it. Eze or Rodgers, bench one. Oh, I think I'd bench Rodgers. That's close. Most washed FPL pick. I'll relay that one back to you guys. Who's the most washed FPL pick? Probably James. Is it Bruno? Eze? Holy crap, you're a real person. I'm a real person, yeah. I'm not AI. So yeah, I've only got a few positions left to lock in. I just hope for some Raya news, but right now it's up in the air. If there's no Raya news, then I'll probably go with the Flecken draft. Right now it's just rumours like that Raya's been spotted at the hotel. I'm hoping to get something more concrete on that. Thoughts on Watkins? Yeah, if I had the money, I'd love to have Watkins over Solanke. I'd love to. Welcome back for another deadline stream. Yeah, if I had the money for Watkins, I'd love to go there. And obviously, I'd say in terms of forwards right now after Haaland, I'd say Watkins is the best this week after Haaland. Then Havertz, and then Solanke's not great, but longer term he is basically. Like Jackson's great as well for this week, or the next two. Start Semenyo, Rodgers or Wood. I'd go Semenyo out of those three. I think you've got to start Semenyo home to Southampton. Why Calvert-Lewin? Just because of money reasons. Wait, how much have I got? Oh, I've not got 0.3. Yeah, I'd go for Wood. Well, basically, the combination is I can go for Wood, and then I have to go Greaves. Or I go Calvert-Lewin. And then I'd have Milenkovic. And I keep forgetting who I was going to go with now. Is it Colwell? Yeah. Like that. Those are the options. So if there's a leak Lewis starts, then I'll go with him. If there's a leak he doesn't, then I might just stick with that. Man United away is not bad for Solanke. Yeah, I agree with that. It's not necessarily a bad fixture. You got 1 goal, 1 assist in Europa League the other day, despite them being a man down after like 7 minutes. Sorry, I'm sniffling and coughing today. I've had a bug this week. Really annoying. Why not Fass instead of Greaves? I mean, they're both good, but Fass is 4.1 mil, isn't he? Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on the Ryan news. Right now, all we've got to go on is rumours that he's been seen at the hotel, but if there's no leak, then I'll just stick with Flecken, I think. If there's nothing reliable on Raya starting. Because, like, if he's at the hotel, does that even guarantee he starts? He could just be there joining up with the squad for all we know. Didn't it happen last season? Who was it last season? Was it Rice or something? I swear there was one where they were with the team at the hotel and they didn't start. They weren't even in the squad. I think it was like Rice against City or something like that. Or Odegaard. Can't really remember. So it doesn't really necessarily mean much. Saka, was it? Alright, Captain Poll. It was Saka, that was it. And he was like with the team and everything. It was just mind games from Arteta, wasn't it? But I don't know if it's mind games this time. Like, why would you do mind games against Southampton of all teams? There you go, poll is up. If you vote for other, let us know in chat who's your other. Watkins captain, yeah, I like that. Trent captain. Diaz, Watkins, Diaz, Trent, Havertz. I rate that. I like the Havertz differential captain. If I was going to rank them this week, I think Haaland and Salah are dead even. And then it's Saka, and then it's the others like Havertz or Palmer. I mean, these are the projected points this week, which, to be fair, has Haaland 4th. Salah's on 7.2, Saka 7, Palmer 6.7, Haaland 6.5. We'll have us play midfield. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. And then we see like Jesus up top or Trossard. But we've seen Trossard playing the deeper role and Havertz up top. So I think he's still a sound pick, Havertz. But yeah, if there's nothing reliable before the deadline, I'll go with this draft. If Lewis doesn't start, then I'll go for Milenkovic instead of Lewis and Dunk instead of Mikalenko. But if he starts, then I'll go with that. But then if there's so many like permutations now, because it's all dependent on like Lewis starting, Lewis not starting, Raya reliable leak that he starts, or Raya not starting. Because then there's the Raya draft, which should be that. If Lewis doesn't start, otherwise I could go for Lewis and Greaves. I think I prefer that. I don't know. Is Lewis a trap? Do you guys think Lewis is a trap? Like, what's he going to start in the next 5? Maybe 3 of those? Is that enough? I'll keep checking in background anyway for like Raya news or Lewis news. It's just those last 2 like slots, whether I go for Raya or not. And then if I don't go Raya, then I go for Havertz. You're wasting money on an extra striker. I don't think so. I think Calvert-Lewin's fine. Because Semenyo's got tough fixtures here. Arsenal, Villa, Man City. So I want to bench him there. So therefore I'll need that extra striker. (442) reckon Lewis is nailed. I don't think he's nailed. I mean, Pep came out with quite about it yesterday, didn't he? And he said, like, other players can play there. He's got Stones, Akanji, Kovacic. Loads of players can play that Rodri role. Now, Lewis could play right back and invert next to them as well. That's possible. So his minutes probably go up a bit. This is how it'll be with Lewis every week in your team. Yeah, maybe I just skip him and go with this. It's tempting though if he starts though, isn't it? I just feel like, yeah, it could go 2 ways. Like, there'll be some unexpected benchings and that's going to be annoying. Does he come off the bench? That's also possible. And then you get the 1-point cameo. But there's also that chance with these games, the clean sheet potential plus the attacking return potential for 4.7 mil. Some games also at left back. Yeah, there is that as well. He can play left back. He's so versatile. But then the other day we saw him in left back and he came off for half time. So maybe it's a headache I should just swerve. But I think that's it. If Lewis starts, then I think I'll swap him in and go Lewis, Cole, Mikalenko. And then I have to decide as well if Raya starts or not. And decide these 3 slots in defence based on Lewis. So there's a few different routes to go down. And I'm not saying that to leave you hanging. I genuinely just don't know yet which way to go based on Lewis news, Raya news. Uche says, Hi Oscar, I used my wildcard 2 weeks ago. What do you think about Calvert-Lewin / Wood and Bumo for Pedro and Eze -4? Yeah, I like those moves. Definitely do that. I think that's worth it. Eze's an upgrade. Bumo's an upgrade in Eze. Pedro's out. Calvert-Lewin and Wood are upgrades. I'd probably go Wood if I can afford him. But I can only afford him on the Flecken draft. They're so close though, it's a coin toss. I'd say Wood over Calvert-Lewin just about. Hamza says, hey man, big fan. Should I start Robinson or Munoz? It's a close one there. All the clean sheet odds say. I feel like... Oh, they're dead even. I was going to say Robinson, but they're actually even on the clean sheet odds. I'd go Robinson. Start Robinson. Matt Carroll says, hi Oscar, start Colwell or Anthony Robinson. I'd start Colwell between those 2. Pretty close, because Robinson's got a bit more threat about him, but I prefer Colwell over Robinson this week. Rocket says, Bumo or Semenyo as a 1-week punt. As a 1-week punt, I'd still go Bumo, if you can afford either. Paredes says, thoughts on Gusto? Is he worth the extra 0.4 mil? No, I mean, I briefly looked at him. I was hoping he'd be like 4.5, but it's not worth the extra. I know James is still sidelined, but also that's a factor. Like, say James is back in 2 weeks' time, he's just a headache later on. Stefan says, is it worth to get Saka and Gabriel for Salah and Robbo? It feels like this week that's sideways. To me, that seems sideways this week. Do you guys agree with that? Salah and Robbo to Saka, Gabriel. It's a minor upgrade at best, I think. I don't think I'd do that. Because obviously there's this virus sweeping the Wolves camp as well now, so we don't know who the players are, but there's rumours that Pond could start in centre-back at Wolves, who's an academy player. He's not even in FPL, Pond. So, so I don't know if I'd be rushing to sell Liverpool players like that. Tuna says, Salah to Saka for a -4. Played the wildcard Gameweek 4 to get Salah. Not for a -4, Tuna. Like I say, it just seems a bit sideways this week. Let alone for a -4. I would keep Salah. Like, I feel like Salah could massively punish me for selling him on the wildcard, but I just can't think of him. I just can't squeeze him in when I've got Haaland and Saka already. And on a wildcard, you can go for Diaz, as you've got some Liverpool attack cover. You can't cover Salah, like, he's 12.8 million for a reason. Is there going to be City leagues? Yeah, there should be. I'll keep an eye out. Nothing at the moment. We're trying to get something firm on Raya as well, because he's been rumoured to have been spotted at the team hotel. But there's no, like, video footage of that or anything. Is Jota a sell? I think he probably starts this week. I think the only situation where I'd consider selling is if it was for Bumo. Home's at West Ham. Recommended long-term replacement for Isak. I mean, long-term Solanke. I think there's potential for a short-term game on Havertz, if the next 3 is workable for you. Goal scoring odds, please. Goal scoring odds are there. I forget the birds are still singing where you are. Can you hear them? Didn't realise they were coming through on mic. No Lewis or Raya news yet. So Raya wasn't spotted at the hotel last night. But there's rumours that he's been seen at the hotel this morning, so I don't know what's going on. We'll try and get something more concrete. But it's from like an Arsenal in the know that said someone told them that he was seen at the hotel, but it's a bit hearsay. You know, maybe there's a chance he's at the hotel for other reasons, just to be with the squad. Like I said earlier, there was that time last season where Saka was at the hotel and everything, and they didn't play against, it might have been City, I can't remember 100% now. So it doesn't guarantee anything either, that him being at the hotel. So unless we get like a really reliable leak that says he starts, I think I'll go without him and not chance it. Alright, scout selection. Let us know in chat. How many players have you got? The team this week is Flecken in goal, Trent, Gabriel, Aina, Saka, Luis Diaz, Bumo, Semenyo, Haaland, Havertz and Wood. So I can't even answer it this week because I don't know which way I'm going to be going. I could have Flecken. I'll definitely have Trent and Gabriel. Definitely have Saka, Diaz, Bumo, Semenyo, Haaland. So I'll have quite a lot this week. I might have Havertz, I might have Wood. All red team, yeah, all red pretty much, except for Haaland. That's your team, just a Raya. Yeah, I mean, it kind of picks itself this week, doesn't it? Can't really fault any of the picks here. You got 3, 6, 7, 8, 8, 11. Yeah, this Raya thing's so annoying. I'm just still thinking about it right now. Because it really depends on, like, if we don't get anything, do I keep him and risk a keeper not play him for 1 week? Because the reason it's such a headache is the wildcard is really long term. Like, you don't chop and change keepers often. Like, whoever I pick in goal may or may not be my keeper until the second wildcard. So, like, it's game week 6 now, but this could be 20 game weeks for all I know, right? This could be my keeper for 20 game weeks. So maybe I go with that. And then Solanke. I've got nothing in the bank, so I have to go Calvert-Lewin. I can't get to Lewis. Like, if there's a leak Lewis starts, I could go with that. But then Cobble has to be Greaves. I'm not sure which combination's better there. Is Mikalenko nailed? Yeah, he should be. He was out with illness, but he's back in training. I'm just not sure if that combination is better, in fairness. The problem I have with it as well is, let's say Lewis does start this game week, and then he doesn't start in game week 7. Then I'll have to play Mikalenko against Newcastle. And he tweeted about Raya. What did he say? Apparently Raya was spotted at the hotel this morning, but I've no way to confirm. And there's apparently a video that I haven't seen. So as far as I'm concerned, he's still a doubt until we hear more or see more. Yeah, same thing that guy's just said to me. There's like, apparently he's been seen, but we need video footage or something. If someone can just take a photo or video it. Yeah, I don't know about... I'm not sure about Lewis. I think I like that more. Milenkovic. So that. I might just swerve Lewis. And go with that. Marcus, thanks for the super chat. It says Bumo and / Solanke or Havertz for Isak and Mitoma. I mean, if you've got an Arsenal slot, I think Havertz. You go Havertz for the next 3. After that, you can look at going to Solanke, but I think Havertz. If you can get to Havertz this week, 2 home games against Leicester and Southampton, then Bournemouth away. I prefer Havertz. Calvert-Lewin or Wood? I prefer Wood, but I can't quite afford him. I've got exactly 0 in the bank on this draft. So I'd have to go for Calvert-Lewin. Milkman says he's doing that wildcard now. Gabriel and Jota or Porro and Diaz. I don't know if I'd go Jota. He feels a bit more risky than Diaz. I'd go Gabriel. Don't know if I'd go Jota. He feels a bit riskier than Diaz. He probably starts, but he seems a bit riskier. But yeah, if I had to pick between the 2, I'd go Jota. I think, have a look at Eze and Maddison as well. They're worth a look, but I'd say definitely the first one. Mr. Wood's price rise. Yeah, I mean, I've had a bit of a nightmare with price changes. I missed Calvert-Lewin's price rise. Because I had João Pedro, right? And if I sold him, and then he started against Forest last game and Hull, then I'd be paying 0.1 mil to get him back. So I decided to keep João Pedro just in case. Obviously, in the end, he was benched, and then he went down anyway. So I missed that Calvert-Lewin price rise, but it is what it is. I had to do that just in case. Why Milenkovic over Aina? I mean, they're both very comparable, but he's got the more goal threat. If you look at their career numbers, he's got a better minutes per or games per return ratio. He's massive. He's a huge goal threat off set pieces. I mean, what's he on so far? 0. So he had 0.99 XG there against Southampton. Should have scored that. They'll probably do the same, to be honest with you. Back to Raya. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to like piece it together. If we get something reliable that Raya's around, then I'll get him instead. Hopefully we get a leak in like the next half an hour. We'll have to see. Let's have a look at who the most important sold players are. Luis Diaz, 1.2 million transfers in. And then it's Bumo. Gabriel, almost a million. Jackson, Saka, Smith Rowe, Semenyo. Raya, 470k. Sanchez, Wood, Havertz. Most sold. João Pedro, 966,000. Then Isaac, Jota, Salah. I mean, some of these sales could massively punish. Like Vardiol's gone down in price. Alisson's expected to be fit for the Wolves game. Saliba. What's up with that? Who's selling Saliba? Are people just going Saliba to Gabriel on the wildcard or what? And then Raya's also one of the most sold. Mental. Yeah, this is just peak FPL though, isn't it? This Raya situation. And it's just like hearsay. Like apparently he's been seen at the hotel. No one's got it on video. But I'll keep on it for the next half an hour or so. Like it's how much weight do I put in this rumour that he's at the hotel? You know what I mean? How much do I trust that? I think I'll go with that. Oh no, that's the Flecken draft, sorry. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. So, Mikalenko, Colwell, Milenkovic. Colwell's fixtures are wrong there. I think I'm just going to swerve Lewis, even if there's a leak he starts. But I don't think there's anything on Lewis yet. Less leaks. So I think that'll be it. I think that's the team. But yeah, so annoying that I'm 0.1 off getting Wood, but it is what it is. I think they're pretty similar. If I had the 0.1, I'd go for Wood, but they're really close anyway. If you've got Raya and we don't get something concrete, I feel like you just keep him and you just take that potential non-starter on the chin. Because the free transfers are so valuable, I just don't think I would spend a transfer on that if I had him and I wasn't on a wild card. Orca reckons Saka gets 1 goal, 2 assists this week. I'll take that, absolutely. Locking the wild card soon, scared the game might crash. I can't lock it in yet though, because I don't know. I'll have to wait till near the deadline. I'm going to blow my nose really quickly again, sorry. I've had a bug this week. I'll be back in 2 secs. Back. Sorry about that. Whoa, what is that? Why is that there? My green screen has died. There we go. Is that better? Isak out for Solanke or Havertz? I prefer Havertz. I think he's great for the next 3. And then you can make a switch to Solanke again. If you want to later. Super chat. Oh, sorry. So Matthew says, Oscar is the best FPL creator. I like the stream. Thanks very much, Matthew. That's very kind of you to say. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, if you've enjoyed this stream, I'm sure you haven't, because it's been a total shit show. But if you have enjoyed it, then drop it a like. Appreciate your support. Salah says 8.2 million. Should I get Diaz, Eze, or someone else? Out of those, I would get Diaz if you can afford him. Yeah. You got a full rest midweek. Playing away at Wolves, who apparently have got this virus sweeping through the camp. What is going on? Bloody hell. Sorry. Wildcard stress. Yeah, I'd get Diaz. That's why I've got him on the wildcard. Like, I'm not looking at Eze or anything like that. Turbocharged Gaming says Trent and Gabriel. Lewis plus Porro cover. / Vardy on a 4.4 mil defender. I like Vardy on a 4.4, but I just don't know who the 4.4 is. Mikalenko, probably. Yeah, I think Vardy and Mikalenko. I like that more. That's nice, because you basically got set and forget back 3, and you got Mikalenko for cover. I'd go with that, Turbo. Dan, thanks for the 9 months. He says, morning all. What are you doing with Raya? I mean, let us know in chat. If you're on a wildcard, what are you doing with Raya? So basically, there was this rumour that he's been seen at the hotel today. That's all we know. There's like no footage right now or a photo. Maybe we'll get that. So that's all we've got to go on right now. This rumour that he's been seen at the hotel. So then I have to think, do I trust in that and just go with Raya? I'm leaning towards going with Raya now. I'm leaning towards going with Raya, and I'll just, as Mark says, take it on the chin if he doesn't play. Last night I was on Flecken because he's not been seen at the hotel, but now there's these rumours that he's been seen at the hotel this morning. So last night I was Flecken, this morning I'm Raya. And I think I'm going to swerve Lewis. My mates have just messaged, I'm seeing the wildcard stress on Oscar's stream this morning. Honestly, it's just all come together at the wrong time. I've had this bug all week. I've got the wildcard active. And we don't know if like Raya starts. Or Lewis right now. We'll know about Lewis 100%. I don't know if we're going to know if Raya starts. But we'll see. We'll find out nearer the deadline about Lewis. Raya we'll have to see. But now I'm leaning towards Raya, so it'd be this draft. And I swerve Lewis. I don't know. Do you think Lewis is a trap? Let's get a poll on that. Or is he just worth it? So captain poll, 68% Haaland, 14% Saka, 13% Salah, 4% other. Because on the one hand, Gameweek 6, 7, 10 and 11, we should know if Lewis starts. So that's 4 game weeks in like the next 5 or so game weeks that we should know if he starts. So that on the one hand is an edge. But also there's, you know, we've seen him come off at half time before, so there's that. And he could come on for a cameo. So, but he's playing for Man City. He's got unbelievable fixtures. He should have had more attacking returns. Like, who remembers that one? I think he like hit the crossbar from like 5 yards out, and it was like an open goal. There's been some moments like that where I think it would be more like, yeah, you have to have him. If that had gone in. So, I think that I think the sensible thing is to go without him. Yeah, Wildcard's active, Morton. I'm just working out the last few positions because Raya wasn't seen at the hotel last night. That was that tweet. But then there's these rumours that he's been seen this morning from accounts that are reliable for this stuff, but then it's like someone else has told them that, so we don't know how much stock to put in it. That's the wrong draft, that one. So that's the Raya draft. How we doing, MH? My captain will be Haaland, and then vice Saka. Yeah, Morton makes a good point there. Like, being seen doesn't mean that he starts. But if he was seen, then obviously his chances of starting have gone up. Because last night, all we knew that he's not even with the squad. So that's like much more damning, isn't it? If he's not even with the squad. Sorry this stream is so like focused on Raya, but I suppose like a lot of you have got Raya as well. But it's a massive headache on the wildcard, so like I have to think about it and talk about it. And obviously Lewis is a headache as well. James says I'm risking Lewis. 60% say Lewis is a trap, 40% say he's not. We'll find out near the deadline if he starts or not. And maybe some other leaks. I mean, the main one's Lewis. I know some of you have got, or are looking at Foden. De Bruyne's out, so we won't see him. I mean, we want to get something on Raya, but we never get Arsenal leaks normally. So we need someone to massively come through here. Solanke or Wood? I mean, if you can get Solanke, I prefer him to Wood, yeah. Amy Pan says, we've got Haaland, Wood. Who to buy? Jackson, Havertz, Calvert-Lewin. Well, unless you've got a clear path to add an Arsenal defender, I like Havertz more. The next three are just unbelievable fixtures for Arsenal. So I like Havertz the most. Then Jackson. I like Solanke slightly more than Jackson, longer term. But Jackson's good for the next two, but then you want to sell him. That's the thing, it's a very short-term play. So I'd say Havertz, Amy. Sam says, who's on your bench this week? So if I go with this, it'll be Mikalenko, Milenkovic, and Rodgers. So I mean, that's another one. That's another headache as well. Like, do I start Rodgers or Calvert-Lewin? I think I just about lean towards Calvert-Lewin. Ahmad or Rodgers? Rodgers. Guzzle that cow pole, bro. I've run out. I've had these Hall Suites, but I've literally smashed through the whole pack. I need to buy more. Is that one? No, it's a wrapper. Damn it. Milenkovic or Aina? I mean, they're so close. I prefer Milenkovic just about. Disgusting says, who would you do? Would you do Palmer to Saka from -4? Not for a -4. Not for a -4. Jake Benfield says Palmer for Flecken and Calvert-Lewin and Archer. I don't understand the moves there, Jake. Palmer for Flecken, Calvert-Lewin and Archer. I don't follow that one. You saying you're downgrading him to spread the money around or what? But those are all cheap picks. Palmer for Fleck and Calvert-Lewin and Archer. Yeah, I don't understand that one. Sorry, Jake. Scott says, would you keep Digne? Ipswich away. I've got 2 free transfers. You can do Mateta and Digne to Havertz and Lewis. I can also just do Mateta and Havertz to roll the transfer. It's hard to say if Digne starts, isn't it? Like, it seems 50-50. Let me just check what FPL Villain tweeted, because he does predicted lineups every week. So he's got Digne 70% starting here. So based on that, I would keep him. That's what he's predicted. From FPL Villain. He does these every week, and he's got Digne 70% starting, so with a fixture like that, I would just keep him and just do the Havertz move. Just checking the background for early team news. Right. Keep your questions coming. Mateta or Nketiah? I mean, if I had to pick one, Mateta. I don't really like either, though. This team is so much better. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. This is the Flecken one. Yeah, but if Raya's in, then I feel like I have to go Raya. Don't I? Surely. Oh, God, this is the worst. I'm a defeated man right now. Hopefully we get something reliable near the deadline. Because, yeah, we don't know if Raya's going to play. I think I'm going to avoid Lewis regardless. I just can't be dealing with that. 60% say he's a trap, 40% don't. So that's that as well. Combat Waffle says, João Pedro of 0.6 in the bank. Transfer to who for a hit? I'd go to Wood. Myself. Wood and Calvert-Lewin are like basically a coin toss, but I'd go Wood. 40 says, free Arsenal defence overboard. Raya, Gabriel, Saliba. It could work, but I prefer double and then Saka. I prefer double and Saka. Or one defender. What's this? He's just said, Vamos posting now. Alright, keep an eye out. You're about to get Ryan news in a sec. Ryan news incoming. Ryan news incoming. We'll give it a minute, see what he says. He's going to tweet something about Ryan now. I feel like he might be in. There we go. Raya has arrived with the Arsenal team at the hotel now. This doesn't mean he's playing or starting, but there's the footage. Alright, so there's the video. Where is he? The things FPL does to you, man. What is this? Hang on. Where is he? Did I miss him? There's Saka. Did he already go past? Where was he? Which one's Raya? Well, it says he's there, so he is there, but I just can't even see him. I'm being blind. He's gone past. Did he go past early? Go to Specsavers. Where is he? Is that Havertz? Missed him. Before Saka, 13 seconds. 11, 12, 13. Where? Is that him with the hood? There's Trossard. What? Oh, 30. 25 seconds. Oh, yeah, there he is. Okay, fine. So Raya's in. So that's that sorted. I'm just going to get him. I mean, this is hilarious. It is, isn't it? Crazy. That's annoying, though, in a way, because I quite like the Havertz pick, but I feel like I have to go Raya now. So that's Raya sorted. I'm just going to go for him. So now, So now I need to figure out these three spots. And if there's a Lewis leak, do I get Lewis? The only way I can afford him is I have to go Colwill to Lewis and Milenkovic to Greaves. I think I like that more though, that rotation. Had to see him with your own eyes. I literally did. Like, seeing is believing. I won't believe it until I see Raya. So yeah, okay. Now we'll keep an eye out for other leaks like Lewis and that. But at least he's with the team. Doesn't guarantee he starts, obviously. There is that as well. Like, it doesn't guarantee a start. But he's with the team, so that's good. There is a chance. The whole Twitter community is Sherlock right now. Honestly, if we all put it together, like, the mysteries we could solve in this world, if we put our minds to it. But instead we're like finding out if Rise with the team and if Lewis starts. Dylan says, Havertz captain for differential over Diaz, Haaland and Saka. It's one of those, like, Havertz, he could absolutely do like a 1 goal, 1 assist type game against Leicester. But I prefer Haaland and Saka over Havertz for captaincy. But like, go with your gut. If you've got a feeling about Havertz, like, go for it. But I prefer Havertz and Saka. FCH Sean with the 2 years. He says, hello Oscar, start Bruno Fernandes or Chris Wood this week. You guys are going to hate the answer, but I think I'd go Bruno. I think I'd start Bruno. I'd go Bruno over Wood, just about. Yeah, I'd go Fernandes over Wood. Thoughts on no Haaland? I mean, surely he's about as essential as players come. Yeah, I see him there. I see Raya. I see Raya coming out with the team. Morning, Andre. How we doing? While you're all here, if you don't have it already, go install the FPL Focal app. It's completely free. Search FPL Focal in the App Store, or there's a link below as well. You can check like your live rank, bonus points. There's a fixture ticker tool. There's the Players League, so you can see what footballers are doing with their FPL teams, and loads more. And it's all free on there. So FPL Focal in the App Store if you want to go get it. So this is where I'm at with the wildcard now. So the last position to decide really is Lewis or no Lewis. If there's a leak that Lewis starts, I think I might just swerve him and save myself the headache. And to be fair, like those of you that watch the team selection videos, I have said I'm just trying to avoid picking players that are minutes risks. So maybe I shouldn't do it to myself and skip Lewis. FCH Sean, the 5 gifted. Thanks very much, Sean. Thanks for the 2 years as well. Appreciate all your support. If you got one of those from him, make sure you thank him for that. In fact, I'm going to match you on that, Sean. Let's drop 5 gifted. Make sure you type in chat if you want to get one of the gifted. I'll do it in 10 seconds, so send a message in chat if you want a chance to get one of the 5 gifted memberships. And if you are a member now, then make sure you link your YouTube account to Discord and you get the members channel there. You get the members channel, Discord, early access to videos. Come in. Boom. There they are. FPL Focal has gifted 5 memberships. Thanks very much to FPL Focal for the 5 gifted. FPL1 says, hi Oscar, any Lewis news? On a wildcard, do you like Jackson and Diaz for 2 game weeks? Then Bruno Madison / Solanke. I do like that, yeah, I'm looking at that as well. Rank the 4.5 mils of Lissandro, Murillo, Collins. I'd go Collins, Murillo, then Lissandro. I like Jackson and Diaz. If you're not tripled up on Arsenal, I like Havertz even more. But I like the Jackson pick, yeah. I'm looking at the same thing, like Madison or Bruno. Yeah, Bruno or Madison. Bradison or Muno. I'm looking at Bruno Madison as well from Gameweek. Is it 9? 6, 7, 8. So yeah, if anyone missed it, Raya's been seen coming out of the hotel, the Arsenal team hotel, So I'd say that's enough for me to go for him. I'm happy with that. So the last 3 positions is Colwill and Milenkovic, or Lewis and Greaves. Surely Colwill and Milenkovic do better. Even if there's a leak that Lewis starts. I think that's the one. I've got nothing in the bank, so I can't get to Wood, annoyingly. So it's going to be that. And I'll have to bench Rodgers and start Calvert-Lewin against Palace. Joe Antro, thanks for becoming a member as well. Thanks very much, Joe. Appreciate the support. If anyone else wants to be a member, use the join button. You get a badge by your name, early access to videos, the members channel, the members league, and it supports the channel. Thanks again, Joe. And N Shock says, start Lewis over Aina. Loving your shirt, by the way. Thanks very much. Yeah, if there's a leak Lewis starts, I'd start him over Aina. If there's a leak he starts. If there's not, don't do it. But I think there's a good chance we'll know before the deadline if Lewis starts. We've got 15 minutes. Edison, Rico and Vardy all start. There you go. Lewis, Vardy, Edison all start. And Havertz, obviously. So, do I go Lewis now? I wish he didn't start. That's so annoying. So, hang on. If I go Lewis, it's... Go like that. That does look good. And then I can go Wood. Maybe it's that. Is that better? Maybe that's better. Oh, I got 0.2, so I can't go Greaves to anyone. So it's just Mikalenko and Lewis. Is that better? With Lewis starting. Or I go with the first one, which was Milenkovic. And wait, what was it? Colwill. Wait, oh yeah, and Calvert-Lewin. So that's the thing. It's going to come down to Calvert-Lewin versus Wood, really. The rest is like so similar. You're starting to overthink it. The no Lewis team look better. Maybe that one. I think that one. I think I'm going to swerve Lewis, even though he starts. Lewis will play in the easy game. Stick with Lewis. But what? How many is he going to start in the next 5? 3? Like Walker's going to be starting some games, surely. Watch out for the website crash. That's also a fair point. I need to be careful with that. So hang on, let me just work this out. So yeah, I have to wait till near the deadline just in case I get Wood. That's the thing. So I need to decide. But FPL man. Lewis all day. Maybe I'll go with that. And Wood. Like that. Which one do you like more? The Lewis or no Lewis combination? So what is it? Lewis, Greaves, or the other one was Calvert-Lewin, Colwill, and Milenkovic. So Mikalenko's in both, so he's irrelevant to that combination. So it's Lewis, Greaves, Wood, or DCL, Colwill. Like, based on the leak that Lewis starts, bearing in mind. The problem is as well, say Lewis doesn't start next game week. So let me go back to that one. Didn't I? I think I had to start Mikalenko, didn't I? That was the problem. Yeah. I just think I probably won't. I think I prefer just about the other one. Lewis, because look, say Lewis doesn't start against Fulham in Gameweek 7, then I'm going to have to play Mikalenko against Newcastle. That's the risk, I suppose. I don't want to play Greaves away at West Ham, but I do get Wood. It's super close. 70% say the Lewis one. Let me catch up on Super Chats a sec. Any news on Savio starts? Not that I've seen. Nothing I've seen. I'll keep an eye on the background for leaks, but nothing on Savio that I've seen, so I can't help with that one at the moment, sorry. Next level says, will Raya start or shall I take the -4? If you're not on a wild card, just keep Raya. You just ride it out. It's not worth spending a valuable free transfer. Lewis Wildy, thanks for the super chat as well. The one says, should I captain Havertz? I prefer Haaland, Saka and Salah. Haaland, Salah, Saka in that order over Havertz, but I don't hate the Havertz pick either, if you've got a gut feeling about him. What striker under 5.5 asked Lewis and Die? Yeah, he's the only one I would consider. Like, there is Strand Larsen, but he's got bad fixtures. There is Archer, but his minutes are all over the place. Sean says this has been mayhem. It actually has been. This is absolute mayhem. I think I'm nearly there now. I think this is the one. FPL1 says McNeil and Mavididi over Smith Rowe and Semenyo for long term for budget mids. Thoughts? City news. I've got triple Arsenal of Raya, Gabriel, Saka at the moment. The only City news I've seen is that Lewis, Ederson and Vardy will start. McNeil and Mavididi, Smith Rowe, Semenyo. I prefer Smith Rowe, Semenyo. FPL1. Thanks for the super chat. I prefer that. Steve says, I've got 0.5 in the bank, nothing really to spend on my structure. Do I just get a 4.5 back up to Raya? I don't think I would, Steve. Although you can't see somewhere to spend it right now. There will be a game week. Leaks widget. Okay, yeah, here we go. I think Mikalenko Lewis Greaves is the one. And I just take the chance of playing Mikalenko home to Newcastle. I think that's the one. I think I take the chance of Raya. He's been seen at the hotel. Like, we know that much. Obviously, he could be at the hotel, not start. That's also possible, but it's annoying how potentially swingy it could be, because the other one had Havertz and no Raya. And Havertz could cook. FPL Tony tweet. Rico Lewis starts. There we go. Lewis starts from FPL Tony. Okay, let's pause on Super Chats then for the last 5, because I need to figure my team out. So Nav says Iwobi or Evan Nilsson. I'm worried the latter won't start. I think I'd still start Evan Nilsson home to Southampton. You got to start him for that fixture. Stan says I'm 1 million off this team. What changes would you make? You could go Calvert-Lewin over Solanke. You could go Eze over Luis Diaz. I'd consider one of those two. Either go Calvert-Lewin over Wood, Calvert-Lewin over Solanke, or Eze over Luis Diaz. Hall and Bruno to Semenyo and Gabriel. Yeah, I'll do that, CFJ. I think that's the one. Mikalenko, Lewis, Greaves. Oblivious says, decide to go differential with Gabriel and Saliba on a wildcard. Good luck. I like that as well. I did look at that, and I think that's perfectly sound. The Gabriel Saliba double up, and then Saka presumably. Renner says he's got Gabriel, Trent, Salah, Saka, Haaland, Bumo, Rogers, Smith Rowe. Really weak bench and keeper. Would you change much? No, looks good to go. I mean, you spent a lot there. I don't know if you're on a wild card, but I personally didn't have Salah, Saka and Haaland on a wild card because I think it kills the team balance too much. I don't know how you've afforded Trent and Gabriel as well, but fair play. No, I think leave it. It's not worth shaking up 5 minutes before the deadline, but I'm on the wild card and I'm going no Salah. So I think this is the one. I think I'm going to go with this. So Mykolenko, Lewis, Greaves, Wood. I should probably lock it in now, shouldn't I? Make transfers. So Dunk out, Colwell out, Jackson out. Mykolenko, Lewis, Solanke. Alright, there we go. Confirmed. So let's sort this out as well. There we go. And sacrifice, yeah, that is right. Yeah, Rico Lewis starts for City. Vardy, Edison, Haaland. The chat is lagged. Is it? No, it looks alright to me. Not had anything else on anyone in these last 3 minutes, so I think that might be it. So yeah, I think I'm settled now. I think that's the wild card. Taran says, who would you say is a good budget pick under 6 million? Already got Semenyo and Rodgers. Who else is there? Under 6 million. I mean, Smith Rowe I think still perfectly good. Because you know, you don't have to start him this week. You don't have to start him next week, potentially. I'd say Smith Rowe is still a very good pick. I can't think of others. Like, I don't like Carvalho just yet. I mean, Diblin, 4.5 mil if you don't have to start him. But I'd say Smith Rowe is still a very sound pick. Jago says, it's so funny seeing your stress when I'm so relaxed rolling twice in a row. Honestly. Absolute nightmare, this. So, Haaland captain, Saka vice. And that's it. Wildcard. I wrote Wildcard. Wildcard. Let me fix that typo. Alright, locked in. 2 minutes to go. Make sure your bench is in the right order. Your captaincy and vice captaincy is right. Yeah, so I've kept Raya. I mean, there's a chance that he doesn't start. But he's been spotted at the hotel. So it is what it is. Like I think this is the one, and I'm going to start Wood over Rodgers, which is super close as well. Don't get me wrong, but I think that just about makes sense. Wood's got the home fixture. He's on penalties. Rodgers has got a nice fixture. Is Harry's team? I swear to God, I've not seen his team. We don't copy each other. Like I posted last night, and probably it's the same team I posted earlier in the week, actually, isn't it? That's annoying, because now I can't gain ground on Harry, which I'd like to, but I guess I can't. That'll have to come later. Start Colwell or Aina. I'd start Colwell. I'd go with Colwell there. So that's my wildcard locked in. And that's the deadline locked in. What? I don't have words to describe that deadline stream. That was one for the ages. And thanks for bearing with me with the wildcard and everything. Let's do the predictions as well, because as always, let's do that after the stream wraps up. So where's that? I've lost it. Where is it? Oh yeah, there. I'm going to take slow mode off. So, Newcastle versus Man City. Get your predictions in the chat. What's the scoreline going to be? Slow mode is off. Newcastle v City. Predictions in the chat. We'll rattle through these. We've got a green arrow last game week. 4-1 to City. 3-1 City. 4-0 City. 3-1. A lot of people saying 3-1. Back in Newcastle to score. Okay. Well, too late. I've got Lewis now. Arsenal v Leicester. Arsenal v Leicester. That is an exciting 3 o'clock one. What do we think for this one? Put which game you're predicting in the chat as well, so we know. Arsenal v Leicester. He says City aren't thumping Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal could thump Leicester. 4-0? 3-0? I think it's going to be a professional 3-0 performance. Brentford v West Ham. Brentford v West Ham. What's the score going to be here? And Bimo owners, is he going to deliver again? (3-1), 2-2. 2-2. What is this song? Oh, there we go. Belter. It's the one I made. Chelsea versus Brighton. Chelsea v Brighton. (2-1) Chelsea. (2-0). Okay, we'll go with that. You guessed the Liverpool score spot on last week, Oscar. We'll take that. Let's see if we can get it again this week when we get to Liverpool. Everton versus Crystal Palace. Are Everton going to turn it around? They've got Branthwaite coming back, Patterson, Idrissa Gueye. They've got players returning. Will they be able to get a result against Palace, though? Palace still hunting for their first win of the season. 2-2? (1-0). Okay, we'll go with that. Nottingham Forest versus Fulham. Nottingham Forest v Fulham. Slow mode is off. Get your guesses in. (1-0) to Forest. You reckon Fulham don't score? They haven't got Nuno on the touchline though. That could be a factor. Maybe 1-0. A few people saying 1-0. Fine says 1-0. Wolves v Liverpool then. What are we saying? We're going to get Liverpool bang on this week. So Wolves have got this virus going through the camp. Players missing. We don't know which players. There's a rumour that an academy player could start in centre back. We don't know who else is out, who's a doubt, whether they've all pulled through the bug. 4-0 Liverpool. And obviously Alisson's back as well, which is a huge boost in terms of the defence. I felt a bit fortunate to get a clean sheet last week. Ipswich versus Villa. Ipswich v Villa. Villa. Keep the guesses coming. Slow mode's off. Ollie to blank. Imagine. 3-1. 3-0. Okay. Man United v Tottenham. Man United v Tottenham. What are we saying for this one? Did both teams score? It feels like a both teams score kind of game, but is it a draw? Like, who wins it? Two-all draw. Spurs 8-0. 3-2 Spurs. 2-all. Okay, we'll go 2-all. Last one. Bournemouth v Southampton. To be played on Monday evening, that one. Something to look forward to on Monday for us Semenyo owners, at least. Semenyo brace 3-1. Mate, that would be such a great end to the game week if that happens. 3-1, 2-1. 3-1. Okay. That is it then. We made it. Thanks as always for tuning in. Hit subscribe if you enjoyed this stream and you're not already. Make sure you drop the stream a like as well. Is there anyone to raid this week, or should we just wrap up there? I think we'll leave it there this week. Can't see anyone to raid right now. I need a minute to rest after that deadline stream as well. So yeah, thank you as always, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in. Good luck this game week. I hope you all smash it and get green arrows. That's it from me. Focal out.